I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and I thought that this week we'll just have a little chat and a catch up. It is honestly what I planned to do, and not at all because it is now Sunday afternoon and I still haven't done a vlog yet. It has, in my defence, been an unusually busy week this week, and I have been very, very productive with it, even if I haven't done my vlog yet. Last weekend, as you know, I went to the garden centre. And I'm very, very proud of myself because I have managed to keep all of my houseplants alive. So in a moment, I will probably take you on a little tour and show you all my houseplants because I'm very, very proud of them. And I'm very, very pleased that I bought them all when I did, because if I had gone to the dentist before I went to the garden centre, there is no way that I would have gone to the garden centre that weekend. Some of you might have followed along with my dental journey, but for those of you that are new here, basically what happened is I had a tremendous phobia of the dentist, and I avoided going for a very long time. And those of you that have delved very deep into my videos will know that I also used to smoke very heavily, which, spoiler, is not a great thing to do if you want to keep your teeth nice and avoid going to the dentist. And so, as a result of that, my teeth were in pretty poor shape. I've since quit smoking. I haven't smoked for like 10 years. Maybe longer. I've lost track because that's how little it matters to me nowadays. I have also taken considerable steps over the last 2 years to get on top of this dental phobia. And so step one of that was finding a dentist who was really, really gentle and very, very nice in their demeanour before we had even got to looking in my mouth. And she took the time to understand what it was about dentistry that I found scary, and she gave me like a safe word gesture that I could do when I wanted her to stop, and when I did that she actually did stop, which built the trust that I needed to get to the point where this week when I went to have my teeth looked at, I was completely fine, didn't even need to screw my eyes shut and disassociate at all. I was able to continue a conversation with her, and I didn't find my checkup scary at all. However, there's always a however. So last year, I needed root canal on one of my teeth. It's one that's just sort of here. And so it would be quite visible when I smile or when I laugh. And so it was really important to me to not lose that tooth. And so you lovely people helped me to crowdfund, and I scrimped and saved and begged and borrowed and got the money that I needed, which was a lot, to do the root canal treatment. However, some of you, if you've had root canal, you might already know this, but what they do in root canal is they hollow your tooth out to get rid of everything. They kill the nerve that's in there and they put a filling in it. And the last stage is to put a crown on it. I had everything except the crown done. And it was always my understanding that it was a sort of temporary repair. But as time went on and the temporary repair held up well, I kind of forgot that I needed to get a crown done, and I backburnered it because it didn't seem important, and whenever another expense would come up, I would prioritise that over saving for my crown. And so this week, part of my tooth that has been root canaled broke because it is more brittle than my other teeth because it needs this crown. And so I had to go back to the dentist, and she said to me, well, it's lasted pretty long, to be honest, but you do need the crown. And of course, like all the big unexpected expenses, it isn't covered by your insurance plan. And so I've got to find £950 to pay out of pocket to get this stupid crown done. And I am very salty about it. I'm very, very salty about it. But I also feel like I have paid far too much money into trying to save this tooth to let it go now. So we're going to find the £950. And so I was really, really grateful this week when I mentioned this, that I got a little surge of sales on my shop. I have got paintings for sale on there, and there's some new ones coming next week, hopefully, if I can find some time to paint. And there are paintings on there as well that you've seen the process of in some of my older videos, so you can go and check those out on my chaos crafting list, I think it is, and see the process of me making them as well. And so you know that it's all human made art, which obviously is an important distinction nowadays. And I've also got on there PDFs of all of my books, so if you just want to be able to read it on an e-reader or on your phone or whatever, I've got PDF versions of all of my books on there. do need to check that they are accessible PDFs, but I'm hoping that they are. And in the next few weeks / months, I'm hoping to get audiobook versions of my books up there as well. And so you should be able to download those on there. There is also a tip jar on my Ko-fi if you just want to tip me because you like my videos or whatever. That would always be appreciated, and that is what the money would go towards at the moment, is saving up for my crown, because the dentist thinks I'm royalty. So yeah, I'm super glad that I bought all of my houseplants before all that happened, because there's no way that I would have been spending frivolous money on houseplants and things like that if, I'm saying and things like that because there's something else coming in the mail soon, but I'm going to have to wait to show you what it is, but you are going to get to see what it is, and it is ridiculous. But I'm very, very glad that I made those frivolous purchases while I still had the money to make those frivolous purchases. It honestly isn't enough money to have made much of a dent in my crown fund. I spent a very little amount on plants because I got them all in the reduced section, and I went for the cheaper options with the other thing as well, which you will see soon enough. But I still wouldn't have spent that frivolous money if I had known that I was saving up for a tooth repair. Great. Although, having said all that, I am very, very grateful that I actually don't have any pain from the tooth, and so it isn't an emergency treatment. If I can be very, very gentle with it, it might be able to last like a few months, and then I'll be able to sort of build the money up to get it done, and it won't be so much of a problem. So that is the plan at the moment, is to just be super, super careful with that tooth until I can get the crown done on it. Everybody, pray for my tooth. I do not want to be visited by the tooth fairy at my big age. Now, at the beginning, I did say to you that I would show you some of my houseplants, so I guess that's what we will do now. So first off, we have this beautiful girl here. That's my jade plant. I have had her since, I don't know when, but at the very least since I was 17, because that plant moved with me into my first ever place when I first moved out. And so she's my oldest plant, and most of my jade plants come from her as well. This is one of the new arrivals. This is a variegated rubber plant. I'm a little bit concerned about this one, although it does seem to be producing a new leaf since it arrived here. How cute is that? That wasn't there when we first got her. But she has also lost a leaf as well since she arrived here, and I'm not sure if she might be about to lose another one. And I can't decide if it's a lack of light or maybe a slight overwater. I did give her a feed yesterday though, because the soil felt very dry. So if it has been overwatered, it hasn't been since it's been here because I hadn't watered it yet. But I gave it a little bit of a feed yesterday and was quite sparing with the water. And I'm hoping that it's just a little bit of shock from being moved and that it's going to survive just fine. So over here we have one of the babies from the original jade plant. This is a fairly new baby, and it was being kept in quite a dark place. You can see that its stem's quite wiggly. That's because since it's been brought to this south-facing window, it is a lot happier and growing a lot quicker, but it means that I have to keep turning it to stop it from growing all wiggly. But it even has a little baby one where one of the leaves fell off that. And so is that my first plant's grandchild or still my first plant's child? I don't know. Here is one of my spider plants that I got a couple of weeks ago. I actually think that this might be 2 spider plants in one pot, but it seems fairly happy at the moment, and its roots aren't growing out of the bottom of the pot right now, so I have left that one to it, and it seems to be fairly happy there. This one, I don't know what it is. It was just in a clearance section marked Rescue Me. But it looked quite happy. I couldn't see any signs of mealybugs or anything on it. And I think it's very pretty. I like how it's been trained around this wire here. I don't know how to maintain that, but I guess we'll find out. So that's sitting in the bottom of a juice bottle there because I don't have enough drainage things. They're all in milk bottles and stuff. Here is another one of the spider plants. Now this one definitely did have 2 plants in it. And so I repotted it, and so this is just one of them, and it still looks like it's quite crowded. The other one's upstairs, and I'll show you that one in a moment. But here again is another little jade plant there, and you can see my thicket of brambles outside keeping me safe there. But yeah, there's another little jade plant there, and so those are my living room plants, except my new showstopper. Absolutely love this pothos, I think is how you say it. I'm hoping that it's going to get enough light up there. Doesn't look too happy light-wise today, but it's a very dreary day, and also I've got the curtain half shut so you can see my face in the intro there. But that is absolutely beautiful, and I'm pretty sure all of this part here has grown since we got it last week. I love how traily it is. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to grow it to cascade all the way down the bookshelf there. I think that will look beautiful. I'm going to show you my other ones. This one, I can't remember what it's called, but again, I picked it out of the clearance, and I think it's called apple balsam. Apparently they can grow really, really big, so I hope so, because I'd love to have some big, big houseplants. I think that would be awesome. One that my husband picked out, this spiky little guy, he seems to be quite happy as well, but I've kept him quite dry because I think he's cactus, because he's very spiky. This one is another one of the new ones, and I took a tiny little, I think they call them pups, off of this one for my terrarium, so I'll show you that as well in a moment. And then both of these are babies from the original jade plant, just at different stages. I'm trying to grow a bird there in case that isn't obvious. And then I've got another jade plant, but this is the only one in my home that doesn't come from my original jade plant. It's an interloper jade that was given to me by my friend, who is probably only prepared to give me jade plants because she knows that I'm actually able to keep those ones alive. So that one's been going strong for quite a while. And then my final spider plant here, I've got upstairs so it can have a bit more room and a bit more light, because it suddenly started producing babies. I'm pretty sure that was because it was massively overcrowded in that pot. But now I've given it a bit more room and a bit of a feed, and I'm hoping soon I'll have loads of spider plants. And then finally here I have my terrarium that I used to do Terrarium Tuesday on. Some of the plants, like these ones here, grew really, really well. The more fern type ones did not grow very well at all. Sorry for the poor camera work there. I'm trying to get an angle where you can see well. So I put a tiny little bit of the plant that I bought the other day inside, and as you can see, it is growing really, really nicely in there, just at the top of this little staircase that we've got going down around the Tyrannosaurus skull, because of course most of these died off, but they seem to be coming back a little bit now. And this I thought had died, but has really, really thrived since. This one's not looking too happy, but I don't think that those are going to survive very, very well in there. I think it's actually just a bit too humid for them, but I don't think the other plants mind the humidity, and the moss especially seems to be growing really, really quickly. It's coming right up the sides here, and I might have to clear some of that soon. So the moss is growing really, really well. I put some of it in between these little steps just to naturalise it. It looks fantastic. Some of it's growing really far up the sides of the glass though, so we might need to trim that soon if it stops letting as much light in. But I think it's okay at the moment. The plants seem to be really, really thriving in there, and very, very happy with their new addition. Even if it is sort of knocking the staircase a little bit, I'm just going to move that a little around it so the staircase can still go around it in between the plants. But I think that makes a lovely little effect and makes it look a little bit more sort of tropical rainforesty, which was what I was going for in there. Join me on Monday, 6 AM UK time. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to be doing a witchy vlog, an artsy vlog, or a self-care kind of vlog next week. I've got plans for all three. I'm not sure which one I'm doing yet, but I will be here on Monday, 6 AM UK time, talking about something. And if you can't wait until then to see me again, I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for, sometimes letting you know what's challenging me that day. Thank you very much, dentist. And I will also be doing an intuitive tarot card pull for you every Witchy Wednesday as well. If you would rather have a personal card read from me, I do short and long forms. They have been described as uncanny and what are you doing hiding in my house or something? And you can book those through my Ko-fi, which I will try and remember to put the link somewhere on the page for you. And if you want to check out the artwork, quite a lot of it I've made on this channel has made it into my shop. It is selling quite quickly at the moment, which I am internally grateful for, but there are a few pieces still on there, so you can find those on my Ko-fi store as well. I will see you on Monday, but until then, you have yourself a magical week.